welcome everybody. Our good friend Tesla just hit $495.28. So we're here to pay tribute to a great American hero, Elon Musk, who, like everybody here, like we unanimously agree, he is the man of the year, greatest CEO of all time, and just like a good guy all around. So, of course, we got to figure out what to do here. So I think, Sami, we'll start with you because I think I've talked about Tesla with you more than anybody in the universe. What do you think of this big move in Tesla?
I think it's nice, but since I think the market topped, I think it'll come right back down.
What?
I know. It's not what you expected me to say.
I'm looking to hear 550. I'm looking to hear 600. You're telling me it's going to come back down?
I would not have said what I just said if it wasn't for the market today. But I went long Twilio yesterday, and I think it looks amazing, and I think it will not work. I'm going to manage it, but I don't think it will even work because when the market tops and it just pulls everything down with it, and Tesla is not going to be immune from the market. So I believe we will actually come back down to like the $450 range before we get to the 550. That's for sure. That's what I believe.
But you think 550 is coming eventually?
No, I don't know that. But you said you thought I was going to say 550. I'm more like, no, it's probably coming back down to 450. I don't know. It just depends on the market. Tesla is going to be, I think, pulled down by the market. That's what I think.
All right.
Sorry.
Whatever. All right. All right, Derrick, I believe the last time we talked, you said Tesla was actually setting up strong technically. What do you think of it up here?
Yeah,
down here rather.
I had called out Tesla long for 460. You know, the first day that it went to break was back on December 12th. And it was a little bit tricky to enter, and then it kind of failed a little bit intraday because the market was really weak, and it rallied nicely into the close. I think that was last Friday, and I said to the team in the close, I was like, let me tell you what this Tesla is going to do because I've seen this story before. They got everybody in today, but they made it really hard. It broke lows. They shook everybody out, but it's closing okay. They're going to gap this thing well above the 460 breakout level and make it really difficult to get the entry. And that's exactly what happened. You had to be up bright and early on Monday morning to be able to get a good risk reward on the break of the big 460 level that we had been looking at. And if you're able to get a decent price, I mean, it was fantastic follow through. So we were calling for that long. $31 worth of upside on relatively little risk if you had decent pricing. And then today I called for a short on it. It really started after hours. I don't know if you saw a headline came out that they're like lying on their full self-driving or something like that out of California, and potentially California is going to ban sales of Tesla for 90 days or something. And I was like, all right, well, at this point, stock had a really big move from the 460 breakout. It's getting a little bit extended to the upside. Combine that with some bad news, and I think that you could look for a trade where you short it back to the previous day's high. Obviously, the market's really helping with that trade today. Wasn't really looking for too much on it. It's kind of at the target right now. But we'll continue to monitor it. But I kind of agree with what Sami was saying. Even with these strong names, it's all about how well the market can hold. And I told the team in the morning meeting today, I was like, look, market's attempting to put in a little bit of a downside tail yesterday. If we lose yesterday's low today, we're starting to have some technical damage on this market. And lo and behold, that's what's happened. We'll see where we close. But if the S&P and the NASDAQ close below yesterday's low today, there's some real technical damage starting to come in on the bigger picture at the index level. And then, always start with the market and then go to your individual stocks. I don't care how relatively strong Tesla is. If the market's failing, I don't want to be long the name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I add just a little bit more, if I may? So here's the thing. The market was pulling in the last couple of days, but it wasn't really following through all that much to the downside. And we also didn't see the buyers step up until yesterday. They stepped up. So today was going to be the all-important day. Do we get follow-through to the upside, or do the bears show up and completely negate or reverse what the buyers put together yesterday. And that's what we had. So today is the confirmation day that we're lower. If you asked me yesterday or the day before or the day before that whether we were lower or higher, I would have said maybe lower, but I'm not really sure. You always have to see the two sides, the buyers and the sellers. Yesterday we got to see the buyers. And today, what happened to those buyers? Got killed. So that's why I think the market is lower. Do I think we're going to have an absolute crash? No, I don't, because the last few months in the market have not been a momentum move. It hasn't been a momentum move. When you have a momentum move and then you top out, then you can have a really big drop, big fast drop. But that's not what we got in the market. So I think we're lower, but we're not going to be it's not going to be a crash.
I mean, it does feel like, at least like the last couple of days, it does feel like there is some healthy deflation of, like Oracle and Broadcom.
And NVIDIA. Look at NVIDIA.
Like, I mean, that does seem like pretty orderly, but I want to get to my good friend JR. So JR, I know there was a lot of hooting and hollering yesterday in the Momentum Express VTF about Tesla. Everybody was screaming and yelling, and I heard you say yesterday specifically it was going to have a strong open today, and now it's been fading just as JR is fading into the bricks in his background. So JR, what do you think of Tesla now? Like, do you think it's done?
You're muted. You're muted.
Of course I'm muted. Just expect me not to be muted. It's an extra licensing fee. Tesla will go whichever way the SPX goes. Ultimately, my target for the end of the year was 500. I went on the pre-market prep show this Monday morning. I told the guys, we're already along Tesla, and I think we make a move to all-time highs this week. We did. We got a little faded. It's been a fantastic trading vehicle. Like as long as Tesla moves, I really don't care what she does. Up, down, whatever. Like she's a very whimsical lady. So as long as we're moving, man, we had a beautiful closed out longs this morning. I'm still holding 500 calls. I sold some this morning, but I'm still holding some 500 calls from like a month ago or so. And if the SPX manages to hold key levels here and bounce, then Tesla will probably tag 500. If not, we'll probably just flop around like a fish out of the boat for a while. And this is simple as that, really. There's a lot of hoopla, a lot of new excited Tesla bulls that are just going to keep this bid up. So,
yeah, I do think hoopla is a very good word for it. I want to talk about, so I want to get into some like evergreen stuff, but I feel like we should talk about Elon Musk himself, since obviously this is one of our favorite topics. So like I came up with a theory, and I want to, everybody let me know if I'm crazy, but if you like the Joker in The Dark Knight, you also like Elon Musk, because I do think Elon Musk appeals to troublemakers. So I wanted to put that out there. What do you guys think of this theory?
I think it's not a bad theory. I think you might be onto something there.
He's definitely a disruptive force, and now he's talking about setting up all these data centers in space, and he's going to beat everybody because of the cooling issues, and it's going to be free energy in space. Yeah, he's a disruptive figure, especially if you're a female between the ages of 18 and 40. He's going to disrupt you real good for about 9 months. Just saying.
I don't even know it's like, what my biggest problem with Elon Musk is? That he cheated at video games, and that he lies about how good he is at video games. To me, that's almost, I find that's very strange. Like when people lie about things that seem totally unnecessary.
Yeah,
That
I seem
tells
to have a
you
bigger
about
issue
the
with the fact that
character.
he wants to put chips in your head, but whatever. Potato.
Unfortunately, I think we've all told lies, white lies, whatever you want to call them, to just make life work sometimes. But when you lie about stuff that you really don't need to lie about, that's compulsive lying. That tells you more about the character than anything else, unfortunately. And I think something happened to him where he, I don't know, it's different. Sam Harris talked about him. I just watched the video just yesterday or the day before, where he said we were friends until I started pointing out things to him that, hey, your buddy of yours said this and that about me, and that's not true. I would appreciate it if you don't if you're not boosting his video. And Elon would reply to Sam and say, "F you, go F yourself." And he said, after that, that's it. That was it for me. So unfortunately, I feel like something happened to Elon, maybe mentally, or something, where the truth became a little bit now takes secondary consideration, secondary importance to his mission, to what he's trying to achieve, whatever it is.
Yeah, like it could be like little white lies that spiral out of control, and then it just keeps building up bigger and bigger and better. Now our friend Red Bull Max is saying ketamine messed up his brain. Like, I would not be surprised if he's heavily medicated in whether legal or otherwise means, just to keep his life together with all the companies he's running and things, and allegedly working all these insane hours and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I do think that, to me, I don't know what it is. I just cannot, that lying about video games thing just cannot get that out of my head. So I think I should give the floor to our good friend Derrick Oldensmith, who might have the strongest opinion on.
I mean, what's the trade?
Topic.
What's the trade? Like in my opinion, all this stuff on his personal life. I mean, look, I don't like the guy. I don't think that's a surprise to anybody. But what's the impact on Tesla? That's really what the question is. I'm a trader. It's what I care most about. And the fact of the matter is, all this stuff that I could point to that should be a disaster for this company has not mattered. The stock made all-time highs recently. It has not mattered. There's more buyers than sellers. So you take the long when the setup is there. You take the short when the setup is there. And, the question is, do fundamentals ever matter anymore, I guess is really the question, because the fundamentals are non-existent for this company. It's a hope and a dream company. It's not the fact that headline came out on California yesterday that they might have a 90-day pause and even be able to sell cars, and the stock went down for a whole of 7 seconds. That tells you everything that you need to know about whether it matters if they sell cars or robots or anything. None of that matters. It's the craziest, biggest meme stock of all time. And, the guy can torch the entire company, but the stock itself still won't go down. So that's just where we're at.
Yeah, I do think there is a flip side to that, because when you think about key man risk, I think it's 100 times bigger than Steve Jobs. Because it's without Elon Musk, the Magic Act kind of goes away.
The meme, the cult following goes away. Yes.
Yeah, very, very quickly. Okay, all right. Enough about Tesla and our great American hero, Elon Musk. We can. So I want to switch gears completely, because I'm honestly getting sick of talking about this market, and I don't know why. But I just should I say this out loud, that I'm just I'm so sick of the fucking stock market. It's just I just find it annoying for every day. It's just annoying to look at.
You should probably find a new career.
Yeah,
it's true. I am thinking about it. I saw a sign. There's a public school near my house, and there was a sign up they were having a job fair, and I was maybe I should just go work in the lunchroom and be a lunch lady, and instead of looking at all this crap all day.
I think you'd be a great lunch lady, personally.
Me too.
I think you're being too ambitious.
But
Yeah.
you know,
All right. Okay. All right. So I want to throw out some sort of semi-random questions, and the first one is like, and whoever wants to start can just jump in. But what information out there do you find the least valuable? And it could be news, you know, insider selling, sentiment indicators. Like, what do you find the least useful in terms of all the information out there?
All of it. I mean, it's hard to know really, because most of the news is useless. It only helps to distort your thinking, and you lose your objectivity. There's very little that's actually important, such as when the stock is a buyout, or it's a secondary offering, or ex-dividend, something that actually will impact the way the stock moves that day. That's important, but the rest of it is all garbage as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, Derrick, how about you?
I really like this question because I expect Sami and I to have complete opposite answers on this. So I think everything's important. Sami is the most pure technical guy I know. So if you're going to ask him, all that matters is the price action. And I on the one hand completely agree. Price action is what pays. That's how you make your money. And that just circles back to what I was just saying. Like, I think Tesla's a terrible company. I think that Elon Musk is distracted. I think he went off the deep end. Technical said buy the 460 breakout. So that's all that matters. And I would rather be long a stock because it's going up and make money than be stubborn and say I don't like Elon Musk, so I'm not going to buy this stock as it goes higher. I'm a trader. I'm here to make money. With that said, I think that everything, paints a picture, and every piece of information I can have, I view as what I call like a layer of probability. And I'll give you an example. I don't really use any technical indicators in my trading. My charts are very simple, very clean. I use Japanese candlesticks. I use volume. I use a couple moving averages that are important to me. I don't use RSI. I don't use MACD. I don't use Bollinger Bands. I don't use Ichimoto clouds. I don't do any of that. But if a trader on my team, I'm looking at XYZ stock as, let's say, a counter trend short, and then a trader on my team goes, oh, the RSI just got to 94. That's still an important piece of information to me, even though I'm never going to look up the RSI myself. I'm never going to have that on. I'm never going to have that on my charts. Personally, if someone can give me that extra piece of information, I view it as an extra confirming factor, as an extra layer of probability on the side of the trade that I'm taking, and therefore it's an important piece of information to me. So I pay attention to every single piece of information that I can see and that I can get my hands on.
Okay, JR, how about you? What do you find, aside from my insights, what do you find the least useful of all the information out there?
I mean, I agree with Sami in that price is truth. It's the only indicator that matters, 100%. However, we're trading against other people and institutions, and understanding sentiment, having a good nose for sentiment, having a good nose for trends, and hoopla is important. It gives you an edge in the market to a certain extent. The quantums were running. You asked me what was the next trend in AI, and I said the logical evolution of this nonsense is quantum computing. Remember, and so having a good nose to the ground and understanding that you're not just trading against a chart and figure sticks, understanding you're trading against other traders, and having a good understanding of how a novice trader is going to react to a headline that's nonsense and bid up a stock. A $3 stock up $6 is helpful in the sense that you're gonna find lots of really good inefficiencies in the market that allow you to take big trades with high odds of winning, like fades on overbought conditions and things like that. So ultimately, the only thing that matters is price. but understanding what other people are thinking, understanding catalysts, understanding sentiment is important to a certain degree. It's but by no means ever a reason to enter a trade, but it certainly, I think, gives me an edge in terms of understanding the competition I'm trading against.
I think any piece of information can be helpful as long as you don't lose your objectivity as a result of knowing that piece of information.
Correct.
So that's my point, is that sometimes, I find out, this guy said this and this about this company. And then I'm like, I'm not so, and I know that they have a huge following. I'm not so in love with it anymore. Well, that means I let the news influence my decision making, and I don't like that. I like to look at the chart, and the chart reflects all available information, and make the decision based on the chart. That's what's worked for me over the last 20 years, basically. But I understand if somebody says, no, I like to, for example, knowing that the RSI is at certain level, it doesn't mean that I'm going to take a new trade, but it will keep me from doing new trades. So as a way to filter out, trades, so then it's actually, I think it's helpful that way. If you use the news or whatever indicators to keep you out of certain trades, more so than to get you into trades. So that's
for sure. Keeping your objectivity while you're hoping the trader on the other side of the trade loses his.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah. I agree.
Okay. All right. So I want to move on to next fun question, which is, what advice sounds smart but is actually really, really stupid?
Any and all, meaning it's all about the context. What's like the most important advice we know of? Oh, the trend is your friend, or keep your winners and cut your losers. It depends. What if your winner is going totally parabolic? Should you keep it? You know what I mean? What if so it all depends on the context. So sometimes, yes, keeping the winners and killing the losers is the way to go, but that's not always the case. So every single piece of advice that I can think of, if it lacks context, it might be completely the wrong thing to say.
Hey, Derek, can you tell Johnny Maintenance over there he still has my 7/8" wrench? He never give it back, bro.
Bro, what is going on right now? Oh man, people are complaining because it's a little bit chilly in the office. I'm like, come trade in Idaho for a little bit. I'll show you chilly.
Okay, all right. So again, so to Derek and JR, so like, what advice sounds good but actually makes no sense?
Oh, there's so many stupid. Are you kidding me? Never let a trade go against you. I mean,
okay, why? Tell me why it's stupid.
Well, sometimes you're going to take positions. You're accumulating. A trade will go against you several times. You're going to be red on the trade many times until it starts working. I mean, there's a reason you have technical stops. I've seen so many people, who are green on a trade and it starts to go a little bit red, and it's a high conviction, beautiful setup, and they panic sell, and then the thing goes up 30-40% in 3 days. That's one of the stupidest piece of advice I've ever heard.
Okay, Derek, how about you?
Yeah, there's a lot of like traditional trader sayings, and some of them are full of great wisdom, and some of them are outdated or just don't make any sense at all. First one that comes to mind for me is my buddy Josh Leffler loves to say, and I couldn't possibly disagree with him more. I think he just does it to annoy me. Limit orders, limit profits. I'm a big fan of using limit orders. If I can get paid a rebate and not pay the spread and still get the execution, I'm going to greatly prefer doing that than paying the ECN fee and crossing the market in order to be able to do that. I mean, that's just an example. The other one I would say, I don't know if this directly answers the question, but like stock tips, Oh man, I don't think I've ever made money in a stock tip that I have ever gotten involved in ever. Oh, I know a guy who knows a guy, and he says his biotech is going to go up 900%, and it's like, hey, you got to buy some of that, and I'm just like, no.
So basically, all of Kramer.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like I think like a big problem with advice is that the people who are like the absolute smartest at the peak, like won't actually like tell the truth about how they're succeeding. Like I heard somebody say this, that like that the most successful people in the world will say things like, chase your passions or whatever, but the reality is it's like they're just smarter and hardworking and better connected than everybody else, and there's like, so they just say what's gonna sound good to the rest of us. But okay, moving on. So we need to look forward, we need to make money. I'm almost tempted to sell my 5 shares of Tesla. Yes, 5 whole shares of Tesla. So who has ideas that can make me gigantic amounts of money, preferably soon?
So yesterday I had a call on the RZLT. I can pull up the charts if you want.
Sure.
So it triggered already. That's the thing, is that we do this once a week at a certain time, but I mean, a lot of the ideas, sometimes they're already too late or whatever. So this one isn't too late, but it's already triggered. I just started that TC2000 platform, so give me 1 second, and let's find it. There it is. So here it is, RZLT. This was a gap down, a mega gap down, basically, and got bought. And then on the breakout yesterday, I had a call in the newsletter, triggered. It's not too late, but it triggered at 185. So I like this one. This is similar to the it's the, what is it? MLTX. Same kind of play. And that was also mega gap down, got bought. I had a call on it, but I'm out. And from 6, where's it at now? 14, 15. So this is similar. I hope it follows through the same way. We'll see. I also like Twilio long term. Got it yesterday. But again, if the market is turning bearish like I think it is, I don't know that this will work. So Twilio to me looks really, really good. It triggered the 1, 2, 3 on the monthly. Now we played Twilio, remember, Mike? We played it in the newsletter right here. It was a huge play, and I added to it along the way. So it more than doubled. But does it still have more room? I think it has room to $350. But if the market topped out, as I think it probably did for now, I don't know if the Twilio is going to work, but I like it long term. I also like Lulu. I think Lulu is probably bottomed. Nice weekly, nice daily. So tomorrow on the Lulu over 210, about 209.20, like it higher. What else? I'm still watching the ZM, but I haven't figured out a way in it, like the monthly a lot. I like the IMVT, but I feel like it's probably too far gone for now. Not in it. Let's see. The Roku I like, but it's too extended. Check out NVIDIA, just so you see what's going on. That's a major breakout failure. You can probably see it better on the weekly chart. That's a breakout, and it got negated. So we should at least on NVIDIA come down to the prior pivot low on the weekly, which is about 164. So NVIDIA should be lower to 164. Maybe even if this is, if this drop in the market keeps going, maybe we see a drop below 164. But at the very least, it should get down to 164. And if NVIDIA is lower, then the whole market is lower, right? Ultimately, I still like the IWM more than I do the SPY and the Qs. But yeah, NVIDIA topped out. Google probably lower for now. That's way overextended, coming in. Probably comes down to the 280 area, probably. And then this is what I was talking about when I talked about the market. The buyers finally kind of showed up, and then they got immediately killed. The next day, today, this is a chart of the Qs. Immediately, the market negated that little green bar that the buyers put in. The SPY is still hanging around the 20, but I think we're lower. And then we'll see how we close. If somehow magically we go back up and reclaim the 20 on the SPY, then I take back my words. If somehow we magically clear the high of the last 2 days in the IWM, then I'll say I was wrong. But for now, I think the bias is to the downside, which means the ideas, no matter how good they are probably not going to be all that great. Long ideas.
Very sad.
Sorry.
Very sad.
Sorry.
It's okay. I appreciate your honesty, Sami. All right, who else? Who wants to step up?
I'll go for it. I've definitely got some technical concerns that echo what Sami just said. I do want to see where we close today. I'm not 100% convinced that Christmas is canceled just yet. If we can reclaim yesterday's low and close above it, I still think that there is a chance. And I mean, it really is. It's all about the AI trade. So AVGO having a pretty damn good earnings report and then selling the way that it has, it's been an incredible sell-off off that report, is really notable. It just shows you kind of how saturated the AI trade is. But keep in mind, AI is like 85% of the stock market's gains for 2025, and it's 100% of the economy for 2025. So that's the key to watch is Oracle, it's AVGO, it's NVIDIA, it's that entire complex. At this point, I like AVGO for an oversold long here soon, coming into this support area on the daily chart and these 320s, basically 4 down days in a row. I know yesterday was a little bit of a rest day, but it's starting to really extend to the downside. I've got some long. In conjunction with that, I like the SOXL, which is the levered semiconductor ETF. For long here, I started buying some a little bit, kind of just before we got on our podcast thing, and then we'll see how we close on those today. I still think that you can get some rallies in some of these meme stocks into the end of the year. Also, I called for QBTS and IonQ longs for today. Started off pretty decent, but I think just the general weakness in the market starting to sink those down. They both had buy initiations 2 days in a row. I thought there was a little bit of like an inside nut pattern that could negate the negative Maribozu from 2 trading sessions ago, which would make it look decent. But again, this is why the market's so important, because you can find some really good setups sometimes to the long side. If the market fails, then your setup is gonna fail as well. So is Christmas canceled? I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm trying to put on some like extension bounce trades right now, more or less as we're talking. Where we close today is key for me, and everything I do starts with the market and works its way down from there.
Okay, perfect. JR, I see your charts are here. What are we looking at here? You have horizontal lines, you got vertical lines, you got everything going on here. JR, are you muted?
He's muted.
Of course I'm muted. Why would I not be muted? So we've got a distribution top here that's giving a lot of people headaches, but you're clearly holding 67.33, which is the most traded volume in the S&P 500 right now. So you're gonna, as long as you can hold this red line here, there's a chance we retake the 68.30s, rebase and go. So I'm not fully convinced we're going down. We'll see what happens. As far as what I'm trading, CMG, Chipotle. So a couple of my traders brought this one up here. We took it long, and now we added again today on the little bullish consolidation break through 36.50. I'm looking for $39, maybe $42 on this. It's looking good as a bottoming play. Reddit, I know this isn't popular, but Reddit finally retook the anchored VWAP high here. It's building structure. I believe we're going to end up building some kind of wedgie shape here, and I'm looking for tight consolidation, a shakeout off the 21, and I'm going to go long for a move to hopefully 282. We'll see. The Zoom we already went long on, and you got a measured move here in Zoom. I love this multi-month base here to 127 and a quarter. The NTH, this looks pretty good to me on the weekly. The NTH, I mean, it's a little wonky, but one or two more weeks here, we base out to our buy setup, and the measured move is about $18. So looking good there for a move to 62, 63. TRP, a flat top break through 55.37. Very strong trending stock here in Tango Romeo Papa, GMAB. No, sorry. Still waiting on Paymentus to trigger through 40.43. I love this rounding bottom base and sort of an ascending triangle on the right side of the bottom, the rounding bottom, and SOLS, which is an IPO base, broke out, retested the 21 and retook the neckline here. So this one I'd love to see retest 61, and I'm getting ready to buy it. So look, the opportunities are not what they were a month, 2-3 months ago. We have to respect that. We have to stay really disciplined, manage money, tear down if we need to. The hardest thing for a lot of traders in a market like this is just sit on their hands and do nothing, when sometimes conditions call for that. That being said, we're taking 2, 3, 4 swings a week at least, and finding success. You just have to be really disciplined with your stops. I like to size into trades, so tier sizing. I'll start with my lowest tier size. Once breakouts are holding, we have price acceptance, I build large positions. And what's happened a lot is, we got mega winners like Caterpillar, which tagged our 620 target from the 440s here. So we have a lot of mega winners and a lot of 3% stop outs, 4% stop outs, so on and so forth. And you just have to be willing to manage your money really, really professionally in this market and manage risk so that you let those winners work. Another trading cliche, right? You let those winners actually work while your losers are smaller tier size and smaller percentage loss. And you just have to be really systematic about that in an environment like this. So you're going to get, you're going to lose your pants, so to speak.
Perfect, JR. Thank you. We have Jacked Orange Man is starting to mess with us. He's saying CMG best Mexican food.
He's doing that to bother me.
Yeah, I got the burrito right here, man. I got the Chipotle burrito ready to go.
How are we even friends?
Look at this big bad.
Friends don't let friends eat Chipotle.
No, it's JR. You're wrong. The issue is it's like you can't consider Chipotle. It's not Mexican food. I don't care if they say Mexican grill. It's Chipotle. It's not Mexican food.
Spot on.
And there's a big difference.
It's like calling Chicago pizza. They need a new name.
Oh boy, shots fired. Shots fired. Here we go. I have a VTF to go back into, Derrick.
Yeah,
you son of a bitch.
The market could be fun. These poor subscribers paying thousands of dollars a year, and here where we're talking about Chipotle and pizza and having fights over pizza. All right, everybody, have a wonderful day. It's been fun. Good luck out there. If we don't see you soon, have a very Merry Christmas.
Thanks, guys.
And I think
Thank you, everyone.
Chicago pizza is fantastic.